Let me first acknowledge that most of you would say, I do not know anything about a corporate ladder, nor do I care about a corporate ladder. But what I'm about to share with you will have value. So can you just go along, you independent, free-floating people? Yes. Okay. All right. During this month, we're really working on how we integrate the energy of God consciousness into our realities. And last week, let me grab that book for me. Last week, we were talking about including God in the little things. So we talked a lot about meditation, how to stay connected during the day, how to follow our inner guidance. You guys working on that pretty good? Okay, good. We were trying to understand the universal language and understand that God is a part of everything and an expression through you. We are spirit living in the world of creation. Staying connected is very important. So we are now meditated up. Now, how do we take that framework into the world? Spirit gave me the corporate situation as an example of structure of all businesses and all consciousness. So let's just start with that. Sometimes I'm guided to have visuals because I understand that a lot of people are more visual learners than they are, thank you for that word, are clairsentient or feelers. So Cassie, who has been volunteering her talents and abilities with us in the opening space of our office, was delightful enough to render us some pictures to look at. So Patrick, if you'll get me a thing, I'll get our board. Everybody got it? All right, this is our corporate situation. Did you know what that meant? No. I didn't either. The Price is Right. I am too seasoned to have known that. But anyway, so we have the big boss at the top in the orange. We have the medium bosses with the blues and orange. Then we have the little bosses. Then we have all these people, and then we have you right at the bottom. What happens in this corporate structure, we're just going to call it corporate, and we don't have anything to do with it yet, right? We're just talking about something alien to us. Every one of these is expectations. When you move into a corporate consciousness, expectations from the big one, expectations from the middle one, expectations here. By the time they roll to you, there are so many expectations of your behavior, what you're agreeing to, how you're going to act, what you're going to contribute. There are so many expectations that you have to squeeze yourself into that tiny little space, and you have to prove your value there. And if you're not valuable to these middle bosses, do you think you're ever going to find value to the big boss? No. You have to be pleasing to the area right above you. Do you see? This is called a hierarchy. So in this picture, let's make sure they say what they want me to say. You have to fit. So you decide if it's going to work, and then you mold yourself to fit that space. Most of us become this new pattern, at least partially, while we're there. We become a new pattern of self to meet all of the expectations that roll down the hill. That's from this. They're rolling down the hill, okay? All right. So the hierarchy above, we need to please. Everybody with me? In pleasing the hierarchy, the bulk of the financial income stays at the top. And then it rolls to the middle bosses, and then it rolls to the little bosses. And there you are at the bottom, barely holding on with your little paycheck, barely holding on. That's what you earned for having pleased the hierarchy. Are you with me? There are levels of expectations that we agree to, mold to, and we don't feel like we can have much more than that, do we? Because we agreed to it, we knew what the expectations were, and we knew what the compensation was going to be. So we're holding on, knowing that if we want more, who do we have to please? The bosses. What do we have to do? Fit the mold. Keep lifting up. We have to comply with what has been established for us. All right. Your value is dependent on those above you in this scenario. Your value, and do we not, you were born in America, what you bring in financially, you have actually taken on to define your value. It takes a long time to unlearn that, but we learn that when we're very young. That if we have money, we're valuable. If someone pays us, we're valuable. You with me? So we have allowed our values to be defined by an established criteria. And it's okay for them to do this. There's nothing wrong with this. It's okay, but what is it doing to us? How is it sculpting us? So your ability to receive is dependent on those above you. We get used to having to comply. We get used to having to meet criteria. We get used to performing in a certain way so that we can prosper. And it's based on the need to impress. With me? Okay. And you can say this isn't in you. I was only in corporate. I've been in ministry for 30 plus years, 35 years. I was in corporate for 17, 20. Let's just say 20. Round it up. You would think that I would have unlearned this, right? You guys know I've been closing the books for the year, which they're done, by the way. But you've heard me moan. You've heard me cry. Thank you. But as I'm fretting about closing the books, Spirit said, who are you going to disappoint, Cindy? Nobody cares. Is anybody going to even look at those numbers? The answer is no. When we have a congregational meeting and I say, hey, you guys want to see the numbers? You know what they say? No. We don't want to see them. They say, Cindy, are you okay with them? Yeah, I am okay. Then fine, let's move on. That's exactly what they say. So Spirit had to say, stop thinking this way. Relax a minute, and let's do something different. This is how many years later? Okay. If it's not a corporate structure, there is still a structure that we deal with of expectations, and we say, we don't even realize we're trying to live to the big boss's expectations. We don't even realize that. Is everybody resonating? All right. When you are able to see yourself as connected with God, who stands between you and God? Nobody. There's nobody that stands between you and God. There's no hierarchy. There's no rules. There's no explanations. It's just, and we've got God up here because we still are learning. But when we seek the guidance of God, aren't you uncomfortable that there's nobody there bossing you around? Don't you want laws? Some religions have laws. Go to the priest, make your confessions, do this, do that. God doesn't do that. There's nothing there. When you receive here, you know exactly how much and who is your source. When you receive here, who is your source? And what is the avenue of your source? When you receive here, you know what your avenue is. What's right? Yeah, I know what I did to earn. When you receive here, what's your avenue? Everything. Aunt Zelda might leave you $1 bazillion. You might find $20 on the ground. You know, who knows? You might manifest a ton of things. It doesn't matter, because when God is our source, all the windows are open. What determines what we receive is the beliefs that we believe. That's what determines that. What do we believe about prosperity? What do we believe about receiving? What do we believe we're capable of having? If Aunt Zelda left you $1 bazillion, would you go, oh, Aunt Zelda, I didn't know you that well? I better give it to someone else who knew you better. Do you know what I'm saying? Would you receive it willingly? Would you feel guilty? The front of the half is good. You guys in the back, I'm worried about. Hopefully, we would say, this is a blessing from my Father, Mother, God to me. Aunt Zelda just did it because God told her to. I didn't have to prove myself. I barely knew her. But God said do it, and she did it. So yay. Now me and God can flow. You know, the avenue of receptivity is unlimited. All right. So who is your source? Who is your source? Whoever is your source determines what you receive, and you receive what you believe. And as I please my boss, I receive the agreed compensation. As I express my divinity, I receive all that I choose. So here we go to the question. How do we bring this to that? How do we bring the one who actually believes in God as source, but has a great gift to give humanity through this corporate structure? I mean, you don't walk in and say, dude, hire me, I am the light, and I'm going to follow my guidance. I'm going to meditate about everything you ask me to do, and then I'm going to do what God tells me to do. Do you think you would be hired? No, because you don't fit the mold. There is still a mold to fit, you guys. When we make agreements with the world, there's still a mold to fit. The key is, how do we take the Christ consciousness, God is my source, and take that into the mold? You hear what I'm saying? Okay. There was an affirmation that I learned very early in metaphysics 40 years ago. I serve God, money serves me. I serve God, money serves me. And let me see, Father, Mother God, where you want me while I'm serving you. I will keep my avenues for Aunt Zelda open. Absolutely. But I'm going to agree to this for a time until you tell me we're done. Then I'm going to go to my next step until you tell me we're done. And I can certainly comply with expectations without losing my divinity. Because I'm consciously choosing, I can do that. Are you hiring me to do this service job? I can do that. I'm not going to bring my paintings from home and paint at the desk. I'm not going to be doing crazy stuff that I do in my own time. I'm going to do what you've asked me to do. But I'm not going to negate who I am. How much do you think you'll prosper this company for the time you are there? And when Spirit says go, are you attached? Oh, I can't. My boss needs me. Oh, I won't be valuable anymore. Think about what you do when you leave a job. When you, like, and Spirit says go. It's time to go. You go, I don't know. I don't have any money. You do it. We all do it. Especially you free flyers out there. You do it. You question, what's going to be my security? And we have to go, God is my source. I had this or greater comes to me. I now move to serve in a new way. This or greater comes to me. I serve in a new way. You guys with me? I serve God. Money serves me. I serve God. My job serves my divinity. When you make the choice to go into this space and God is your source, it is somehow going to profit your divinity. It's going to teach you something. You're going to learn something. You're going to expand something inside you that you wouldn't have otherwise done. So there is nothing wrong with this when you can take the Christ and not lose your divinity as you enter in. Is everybody with me? All right. So we move back into the corporate. We don't always change the expectations. We don't go knocking on the main guy's door. Hello, hey, you got a Christ being working for you now, and we got to clean it up here. You don't do that. You don't do that. We consciously agree, and we serve consciously. All right. We can serve God in every earthly environment. You realize that? And we are learning as we go. So I was reminded of, and I'll paraphrase this for you, when Jesus, before he began his ministry, Jesus went into a place called Heliopolis. It was the master's school in Egypt, where the Egyptian mystery, it's an Egyptian mystery school, and the Egyptian higher priests were trained. And he went to them and said, I'd like to go through your training. And they said, why? You're a master already. You got it right down from God. You know everything. Why are you going? Why? And he said, I want to face the challenges that humans face. I want to know how they go through these things, because I know it's a challenge. And so he went into the school and he went through several tests. In most of the tests, it was a psychological thing where he had to choose good, light, they tried to deceive him and things like that. But then there came a test where they actually bound him. It was the first time they touched him physically. They bound him, and he allowed it because he was in school. They bound him, and they put him in a pit of darkness, and all I could hear was animals hissing and screaming at him like they're going to eat him. It was aggressive. And he was in the pit for a moment, and his thought was, who bound me? And why did I allow it? Who? I'm going to say it now in human words for this today, 2026. Who's trying to stop my divinity? And who took my ability to express my divinity away? Did I agree to that? I did not agree to that. The minute there was a hindrance to the Christ in him, he went, I'm not. What are chains anyway? The chains fell away. And what is darkness? It's the absence of light. God reflecting. It was light. And there was no animal there to bite him. There was nothing in the pit except a golden ladder that he could climb out of. When he turned his divinity on and did not allow it to be suppressed, he was able to easily rise out of that challenge they had put him in. How often when we even as Christ beings go into agreements and someone says to you, that was so good, you're doing such a great job, now turn off your divinity. You understand? I've seen it over the years, not with you guys at all, but many hundreds of years ago, I counseled a lot of young girls. And they were great. They're meditating. They're loving God. They're absolutely fabulous. And they'd meet a fellow, and he'd go, God, you're amazing. You're fabulous. I love that. Do you know the first thing he would do once they got serious? Tell her she can't go to church anymore. The thing that was making her fabulous, the meditating she was doing, the life she was living, what was making her shine, what he was drawn to. I don't like it anymore. No more meditating, no more going to church. And then this beautiful child is going to wither before your eyes because her Christ has been asked to be suppressed. It looked really good in the beginning. There was all kinds of agreements in the beginning. You with me? In order to be in the total receivership of connecting with God, we have to become consciously aware of what have we agreed to fit into, which is fine, y'all. That's how we grow. And how do I continue to express my divinity while I'm there? Is everybody listening? Okay. Jesus said, the Christ that was formed in me will be formed in each one of you. Did you know that's in the scriptures? The divinity that I'm able to express, that I am, will be formed and expressing in each one of you. We are all children of God. All children of God. We don't have to prove it to someone, prove our value, or wait for them to bless us with a paycheck. We just don't have to. Our last step is when we can truly know this becomes this. The Christ that is in me will be formed in you. But until you get this in your consciousness, because this has to replace the hierarchies. That, okay, there's no one between me and God. Okay, there's no one between me and God. Okay, now God is in me. It's hard to jump from hierarchies to this, isn't it? So we have to work with this and know God is in me. And we have those moments, don't we? God and I are one, you feel, and it's so good. And then we have the moments where it's, and Zelda. God, do I have any relatives at all out there that you can talk to, please? You know? So we bounce back in our learning process between these two. This should be our ideal. Everything that I do, everything that I choose is by divine design, by divine guidance, and I will agree to the parameters that I am asked because I'm guided to, but I will also move when I'm guided to. And those parameters do not limit my ability to receive prosperity, support, or love. They do not. Because why? That's where I live. You see? Okay. Becoming one with God, our divinity expresses in and through. This magical world of potential and possibilities is now ours. We are Christ, creator of love. And we express, then we can become. I am so unique. So this is what they said to me, Cindy. Cindy, you are so unique. The world did not know that they needed you. The world didn't know they needed you. So when I was born, there was no place for me other than in corporate learning. And the minute there was a moment to pop me free, to go into a space that had no form or no structure. There was no form, no structure to InnerQuest. Spirit just said, you're going to do it. I went, okay. All right. Pay my bills and we'll do it. No form, no structure. Pop me over here. And now the uniqueness of what we can create over the years was allowed. The world didn't know it needed us. You are so unique. The world doesn't know it needs you. It needs your uniqueness. It needs your divinity, not just finding the space of the corporate concept of where you fit. But who are you? Who are you? If we looked at every single person as bringing in something fabulous, new, and amazing, guess what? They'd bring in something fabulous, new, and amazing. And then the world would go, I love that. Good job. Let's move on. And they wouldn't pigeonhole you into a space of compliance. That's living with God in our reality, in the material of our reality, in the finances, in the relationships, in the everything. That is living with God in this tactile world in which we live. I'm sure there was no space waiting for you either. I'm sure we all just tried to fit in where we could. But the avenue of abundance consciousness is limited to structure. So the avenue of abundance consciousness is limited to structure. Which structure do you want to be in? The avenue of abundance consciousness is unlimited in God's structure. It's unlimited because there is really just relationship, oneness. Make sense? All right. How we put this into the world around us is our choice. How long we need to be there, maybe guidance from Spirit, but always moving to the next is our growth. Being open to receive as we go is our blessing, you know? So, I serve God, money serves me. I serve God, my job serves my divinity. My relationships serve my divinity. My house serves my divinity. You can put anything in there. My car serves my divinity. Anything. It all serves my divinity. I serve God, money serves me. All of these things serve my divinity. Okay, how easy is this going to be? Let's anchor it in, guys. Let's just breathe. Father, Mother God, I ask you bless each person in this space that hears my words. And I would invite you just to feel your own heart. Just let your energy go to your heart. Feel your heart. Feel the energy. Feel your solar plexus. Feel the energy, the pit of your stomach. Feel your energy. You are a master. You are a master. See a beautiful column of light come around you as it enhances and blesses the light that you are. And feel that heart energy within you growing. Feel that golden light of your solar plexus, the pit of your stomach growing. You have the capacity to do anything. Focus on that heart center. I say yes to my divinity. Take a breath and say yes to your divinity. And as you do, feel your whole arc field growing strong. I say yes to my divinity, to who I am. The world needs me. The world loves me. I am a gift to the world. Feel the love of God pouring into you now. And become aware that you are the hands and feet of a very special mission, one that only you can do. Feel your gratitude at being on the planet. Feel your gratitude at being that expresser of God love. There's only light. And just stay in the stillness for a moment. We didn't lift up. You're right in your own space. And we're going to take a breath, and as you exhale, we're going to send this beautiful stillness into the details of your world, your reality. Take a breath in and send it out into the reality. I serve God. I take my light, the divinity of the Christ, into every space. I bless the world, and I am blessed. Father, Mother God, I thank you for this moment. I ask that you pour abundant energy into every soul that hears these words, for what they choose to receive. Love, finances, whatever they choose, health, whatever they choose. And in this moment, let us know we are your children. Let your focus go to your heart and see a beautiful star there, a beautiful star of God love in that heart. God expresses through me. I am love. And we thank you, God. Take a breath. Feel your body sitting on the chair. Feel this space. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Could you feel the shift? All you free-flying, independent light beings, did you gain a gift? Well, your assignment for this week is be you. Be the light you are. Be the Christ you are. Just be you. And say, yay, God.